Hello. Well, welcome back to Unfiltered. I'm extremely excited today because of my guest, man. This is a guy I've known and respected for a very, very long time. He's a seasoned sports journalist, and I know you know him. And if you can see what I'm wearing today, this is a T-shirt from the Ghana National Sports Authority. Maybe I've given you a hint as to who I'm talking to, but I'm privileged and honored to have him here with me. And we're going to have a long, great talk, sizzling one. So just stick around. But in the meantime, it's my pleasure to announce my guest for today, my own man, Yaw Ampofo Ankrah.
Yo.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
And you're now the newly installed director. Is it installed or appointed? Appointed director of the Ghana Sports Authority. Is it Ghana Sports Authority or the National Sports Authority?
Yes, appointed National Sports. Okay, so it's National Sports Authority.
Okay.
But it's Ghana.
Okay.
I think you're right, because if I meet someone and I want to introduce a person, National Sports Authority they may ask me,
yeah,
and I'll say of Ghana. So
okay,
we need to look at it. Maybe it should just be straight, Ghana National Sports Authority. That would make sense.
Great. Well, congratulations for being appointed the director.
Thank you so much.
These are rumors that I've heard, and please confirm or deny. I was told that people were lobbying like crazy for this sport, and people actually approached you to say, "Yaw, you are the man. Can you lobby on our behalf?" Is that true, or is this a rumor?
I mean, I also heard.
You also
that,
heard?
Yes. So, yeah. I mean, it's sports is is a multi-billion-dollar CD, whatever currency you want to put it, business, but it's also a lot of the system, the structures. Before you get to that stage, you need to pass through. You need to do all the right things. And, there are a lot of.
So basically, they were approaching you because you have done the right things.
No, but maybe they thought I could help.
Okay.
Lobby.
Okay.
And maybe I lobbied for a few, and then in the end.
Well, this is the interesting part, man.
Yeah.
Here you are lobbying for a few.
For people.
Right. And then all of a sudden, you are the one chosen for it.
Toxic, this guy. But it wasn't like that. It's honestly, I didn't know I was going to be at the National Sports Authority until almost until I got a call.
Wow.
Yes, until I got the call. So, yeah.
How did you feel to get the call and be told that you are the person appointed for this, knowing other people had approached you when they say, "Hey, all this time you knew, buddy."
Yes, as for the knowing that other people did, I'm no because but I think they realized that it wasn't crafted to be the way it was. Yes, and thankfully the few people who obviously I had hoped would get that seats, they understood the mechanism and how it works, the politics around it. So I was pretty safe with them. But that's how it is, for those of us who are not career politicians, right? That's what for those of us who are not career politicians, but we are now politicians because we're politically appointed, we're government appointees. We need to learn a lot of these things. You need to learn a lot of these things, and we're learning fast. We have to. We have to learn.
Take me to the day when you called or received the letter that was appointing you. Take me through it. Were you shocked? What happened?
So the night before, a call came and basically saying, tomorrow morning, reports, to the big house, and then go for your letter. And on the phone, I couldn't say, what is it? It was very straight and direct. I knew the person who called, obviously, and that's exactly what I did. And when I went, I was surprised at this.
So they just come for a letter.
Sure.
They didn't say anything about the appointment.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But I had that. So that 24 hours before the appointment, there were conversations. Yes, there were conversations, and I knew it could go in a certain direction, but I didn't know what would be the portfolio. Yes, that one. It was the next day that I got, to Jubilee House, and I was given the letter, and that is what it was.
So that's when you found out.
Yes, that
wow.
is, yeah.
Were there other things that you thought maybe is going to be heading in this direction? Maybe were you thinking perhaps it's sports related, but not the director of GSA, but maybe a minister or something?
Yeah, I'll be very honest with you. For ministerial, let me tell you point blank, because I've worked with so many ministers over the years, up close, including my own brother, Honorable Elvis Ankrah, who was the former youth and sports minister. I told myself that no, I don't want to go there. I can help, but I don't want to go there, and I have my reasons. And I believe that until we get to a place where the sports ministry is packaged differently, there's so much pressure, and it's not about the pressure on the minister, but the ecosystem that you need to feed. And it's very difficult for anybody to really make that mark if that ecosystem is not repackaged or reset. That's the word, reset.
Okay.
Reset. And
so your feeling was that because your brother was sort of like in that,
right? And I saw how
it didn't make it correct.
He gave 200%, but it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Yes, he did the best he could, but it wasn't enough. And I felt that, and even the fact that I was there and I really couldn't help change that situation, because like I said, the ecosystem is very difficult. It will dictate to you, and if you're not careful, you might starve one area, and that becomes a problem. You might do the right thing, but doing the right thing would rather put you in trouble. So until we reset, and I think we've started that process now, it is sports and recreation. We're going in a different direction. The reset is on. Yes, it's still the youth. Obviously, sports is largely youth based, but it goes beyond that. And it also
sports and recreation.
It opens it up even more. So the ordinary folk who feel that this is just for the elites now can get involved, contribute, participate, more importantly, and feel that they belong in that space, which is the market difference, because recreation is for all. So now you're lowering it down a little bit, and I think that lowering it down would cool down the temperature. But it's a World Cup year, so it's going to be hot anyway. Any World Cup year or AFCON year is very hot for the minister, and in fact the sports ecosystem, which I find myself again.
Okay. Now you're known really as a sports journalist.
Yes,
You've
sir.
done so much. I think we have to have a whole show just to talk about your role in sports journalism.
Yeah.
So how was the transition like, moving from sports journalism now to become a sports administrator?
Yeah. So even now, obviously, there's a change, constantly learning, constantly adjusting, especially the administrative side. And if I look back at, the Sunshine Radio, Choice FM, Joy, Metro, TV3, and all the rest of it, I'm asking myself, okay, maybe this was all preparation for this, because myself, Randy Abbey, Ibrahim Sanidara, Dr. Kwame Banwako, Dr. Ketu Kreku, we were in the same space for a long period of time. And of course, everybody went in his own, direction. And now we find ourselves more or less coming back again. It's quite interesting because, Paul is not in office. Obviously, he was heading the airport, right? He was a board chairman for Ghana Airports.
Yeah.
Something like that. I hope I got it right.
Chair, I think.
Yeah. Ketu Kreku is now the GFA president. Dr. Randy Abbey is at Cocoa Board as the CEO. I'm at the NSA and a few others, Ibrahim Sani, CAF. So where we started, 20 years roughly ago, we didn't know that this is where we find ourselves.
Yeah.
So it is quite surreal.
Yeah. What exactly, your experience in sports journalism that prepared you to be handling an administrative position now? Are there any links? Or?
Yeah. So obviously, talking to sports administrators, ministers over, I've had some really good vibes. Papa Yaw Ampofo, for example, when he was sports minister, very back in terms of his answers, straight to the point, and that man, I think he's a career diplomat. Very proper, very neat guy, good English, very suave. Then, of course, we Nilante van der Poel. So I've interviewed all these former ministers. I've had encounters with them. Some not so friendly. Yes, I've had some really hot encounters with them. The first minister, obviously, was the late Honorable E.T. Mensah. And he was a colossus. He was very intimidating. Very intimidating.
Interviewing him, you felt intimidated?
Even not just talking to him, just approaching him.
Okay.
You couldn't go to the sports ministry and just get an appointment with E.T. Mensah.
Wow.
It was a big deal. Wow. And when you see him, his posture, was very, this guy, Charlie,
I'm the man.
He's the man. You're the man. E.T. Mensah had that vibe. Oh, yeah. He had that vibe. And he would not talk, but he would intimidate people. I was intimidated by him. I was a young sports journalist. We felt he was interfering in the local football politics, especially Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko. We felt that as a minister, you can support Kotoko, you can support Hearts, Great Olympics, that's fine. Everybody has their choice. But I felt that he was being too biased openly in favor of one club, which was Hearts of Oak.
Yeah.
And he wasn't shy about it.
Wow. And him being in favor, what are some of the things he would do to blatantly show that this guy is in favor of this? What are some of the things he would do?
May his soul rest in peace. Players, this player must go to Hearts of Oak. And that time, as young journalists, when we hear it, we want to find out if it's true. But you can't go to the minister and say, Charlie, you said this Charles Taylor should come to. No, but what you do is you talk to the state, and they'll say, he's the one. He's intimidating us. He's not allowing him. We hear all this, and then we have discussions on radio, and it's hot, and people get emotional and all the rest of it, and then you bump into him at the stadium, and he will just be looking at it as if to say, "You, what did you say?"
So was that good for sports to have a minister that was intimidating? Or was the impact negative because of that posture? You know what, KSM, you've asked the 1 billion CD question. Then obviously, but looking back, E.T. Mensah was the epitome of this calm, big boy, confident, aggressive, not in a physical way, but in the way he operates. Just his presence.
His presence and his influence. And that a phone call, he had that aura about him. That was a sports minister. That guy. Perhaps maybe the reason was that he was there for such a long time. So perhaps he had the time to really control the ministry, call the shots, at the time, very autocratic, but looking back, perhaps that's what you need if it is handled well. It's a little bit like the Rwanda situation where Kagame say, he's not democratic and he has eliminated his enemies and blah blah. As a young journalist coming up, I was reading about this guy, and initially my feeling was that this guy is a bad guy. With time, with the evidence of what he was doing and what he's done now, I asked myself, is Rwanda better or worse with Kagame? Obviously, there's not been another leader after the genocide, but clearly he must be doing something right. And you can't please everybody at the same time, or even, you can't please everyone. In hindsight, you think maybe E.T. had that kind of role and impact? Oh, yes. And I think the era of technology, it missed him. if E.T. Mensah was the minister now, with the knowledge we have, the technical expertise, the history, and the people who have that experience, and he uses his character, his aura, his presence, his persona, he would, it's about connecting. It's about delegation. It's about allowing people to also bring their A game to the table without feeling intimidated or, the trust issue is always there. Politicians would work with those they trust. So even if KSM is the best, they might think KSM is the best though, but if we bring him, he's going to worry us. He's going to tell us what to do, and they don't want that. They want to tell you.
They want to be in control,
right,
and tell you what to do.
That's the thing, and that's where I think, not because he's appointed me, but I just think that currently, if you talk about leadership in Africa, in the world, not even in Africa, it's there. We don't need to. This is not propaganda. You just look at world leaders, from whether it's Donald Trump or any other world leader, Africa or European, and just look at what they're doing and make a little comparison, and you see that we're really blessed to have the President Mahama. He's not a bully, but you can see that the second coming of Mahama is bullish, even though he's not a bully.
Yeah,
he's very firm and focused about, this is what I want done, and if you guys don't do it, and he will not threaten or intimidate. Maybe he does intimidate in a nice way, which is even
he makes you know that you ship up or ship out,
right?
Not in a
good.
Yeah,
he will smile and everything, but if you don't do the job, out of coverage area, and that applies to all of us. That's why I believe that after a year, I can say, maybe I'm not the right person, but let me use this platform to congratulate all the appointees who've worked so hard, and especially those I've come into contact with that I know how difficult it's been, but they've come on board. Tourism, Abeku Santana as the number 2 at tourism with Mame Fuahujuto. They've done a great job. KOD at the diaspora office, Rex Omar, Randy Abe.
Not to cut you, but somebody had mentioned that there's a whole crop of young blood, if you call it that, who have sort of become a part of the government now, and by his assessment, you guys are doing extremely well. He talked about you. He talked about Abeku. Talked about Sami.
Julius Kote at DVLA.
Yeah,
and the whole list. Sami Jemfi. There's a whole list. So everybody's bringing their A game, and it's good. There's pressure. You need to work because.
Do you guys get together and hang out and say we are the young blood? We must do this, that, or you just know that
we link up, as I said, especially with tourism, the diaspora, because now sports is not just about going to play and going home.
Yeah,
it has changed, and this is the president's vision, which is being executed, by my sector head, the sports minister, Honorable Kofi Adams. So it's not just about play and go home and sleep. No. Before you play, there has to be something. During the play, there has to be something afterwards. Long term, people come and watch, they need to come back. The Ghana brand must be at the center of that, and we need to attract the emotional side of it to build on it and then create wealth. It takes time, but you need to have that.
Sounds great. Great. So what exactly, for example, are things that you are thinking of, or things that can be done so that it looks like this is not just sports, there's a whole branding aspect attached to it? What examples can you think of?
Yes, I mean, clearly the World Cup qualifiers, we had 3 in 2025. The Black Stars played against Chad, against Mali, and against Comoros. So the matches were not just about football. You would realize that when you enter the stadium, you see brand Ghana, feel Ghana, taste Ghana, wear Ghana as you're doing. And that was Ghana Tourism. That was Abeku Santana and his team, Mame for, and they were there. That's the beautiful thing. Mame for, she was there to serve kuli kuli. You see the twiggly, it's It's a bit of. It's like.
Oh really?
What? You know, kuli. You've eaten it, right? Okay, so who knew kuli? I'm sure you've eaten, but the name.
Maybe I didn't know the name.
And then of course the kaklo.
So it was being served.
Yes, at the VIP, and then when you enter Sobolo.
Oh wow!
Yeah, all the Ghana. So this was like, oh wow, this is Taste Ghana, and then Wear Ghana. What
you have it on, yeah.
And then so they handled that 100%. Ghana Tourism Authority. That was new. That was a good collaboration. Then you have Rex Omar at the Independence Square doing his Black Star experience. When the basketball stars come in, when the football stars come in, they want to go to the Black Star Square, take some photos. But it's not only now just about taking a photo, it's about the history. What happened here? Why is it significant? What does it mean almost 70 years later? So, okay, I get it now. All right, the music and, Shatawali comes to perform. There must be something at the stadium.
So definitely not just a sports activity.
No.
It's a whole, okay.
Yeah, it goes beyond that. And what message are we sending out there when we post an image, of a player or a musician on the pitch or performing at the Accra Sports Stadium, Babayara Sports Stadium, and all of it. Sarko there were issues. They didn't want him to perform in Kumasi because they fear the pitch would be destroyed.
Oh, really?
But we found a compromise, and he did.
So let's talk about, now that you've mentioned the pitch thing, I was going to ask about it, but now that you've mentioned it, let's talk about that. You have now come up with stuff to cover the pitch when activities are taking place.
Pitch protectors, commonly known as pitch covers, they have different categories depending on what you want it for and strengths. The hydraulic ones, electronic. Those are, you're talking of $1.5 million. When we started looking out and went on the market, we thought this is ridiculous. Why would anybody waste $1 million? But then you begin to understand why. When you watch the Super Bowl, when you watch other finals, sports events at a stadium, and then just 2 days later, there's another sports event. And then 3 days later, there's a musical concert. A week later, there's a church conference or something. And it's a business, it's a cycle. And you're like, I now understand. The stadium is not meant for, it's a sports stadium, but I think as time goes on, we're going to have, they're going to call it event centers where you can play football, basketball, tennis, whatever it is, have your conferences, have your church, events, have thousands of people coming in for all sorts of events. And so now, back in the day, it was just football. And when it gets to December, my predecessor, Professor Chumesi, he had a challenge because the peak season was December, and churches would come, musicians would come, and they would want to use the pitch, and they would offer good money, bills to pay, and he's thinking, why would I let this money go? I need this money to pay bills, to sort out the regions and all the rest of it. I'll take it, he would say. And then we saw the results afterwards. By the end of December, the pitch is brown. It's totally destroyed.
So you take the money at the risk of endangering the pitch.
Right. And some of the money will be used to go back to repair the pitch. But it was a gamble, and people just didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, and I had occasion to interview him, and he explained, and I still didn't understand. I disagreed. I never knew I would be in the same position. So finding myself there, I'm like, okay, I get it. So I was in a tight corner.
Yeah.
Nothing I can do. So December was off. We said, nope, we can't have any events on the pitch. And then a miracle happened. And Alpha Hour happened. And there were conversations. And it was a miracle. Because
so Alpha wanted the pitch?
Yes.
And
for 30th and 31st December. Mind you, and you also know how it works. If there's a program on the 30th, they'll probably start setting up before the 24th. Yeah, because some of the gadgets now the heavy duty stages. They're top notch, and you can't just quickly come and set up and they lay cables. You know, one thing I didn't know until I got very close to the pitch. You lay cables, 10, 20, whatever it is, across the pitch. Leave it for just 3 days. It will mark the pitch. A best head pitch. No. It is. You think, oh, but everybody knows this. No. It has an effect so adverse that even the areas that are not affected, you would have to now level, because you want a level playing pitch with even colors. So even if it's a quarter of the pitch, it would affect the rest of the pitch. So green grass technology taught us a lot about how these things work, and it's been an education, and very humbled by the fact that you cannot do anything about the state of the pitch if you do not protect it and respect it. It will come back and bite you.
So what, Alpha wanted to use it, so you decided that no, it can't be used without the pitch cover?
Yeah. So before them, obviously the conversation had started earlier. And we kept saying, no, we can't. We're talking to potential sources or solutions, but at the time there had been nothing concrete. So Vibes Cartel's delegation, they came around August, that they wanted a show late November, December, and we were very excited. They wanted, and they suggested that they could import pitch protectors. When I said no, you can't have the pitch because of that, and then we got very excited. But somewhere along the line, the guarantees were not clear, so we had to back off and politely say no. And they actually put a contract there, but we didn't sign. So yeah, that's what happened, and it wasn't acquired by the National Sports Authority. We don't have such funds to acquire pitch protectors, but we went into an arrangement with this church, and the church saved not just lives during their 30th and 31st programs. I mean, people have their views on that, but this is what I believe. They saved the shows of several musicians.
Because it was a pitch cover, you could afford to bring in musicians to perform
and have their tables, which they would price VVIP, and they would do the exclusions and the partition. They would do what they can do to also make some money. It wouldn't have been possible without the church having stepped in. So I always try to clarify when people say, NSA, you've done well, you've bought pitch covers. I said, no, that's not it. Let's give credit where credit is due.
Okay, so who gets the credit?
The church, obviously, and all those involved in the conversation, because apart from bringing it down, then it's got to be about the, from the poor. There are a lot of things, and some people don't want to be mentioned or given credit publicly.
Okay.
But they know, and out of respect, I won't mention their names, but they also helped to, from that stage, to bringing it to the stadium, to laying it and all the rest of it. It's a whole process, yeah.
So because of this, you have now a contract with Alpha Hour that whenever they need it is available. Do they have some rights to the stadium now? Can you tell them no?
Non-disclosure, boss. Boss.
Okay.
Wait here. Who is that question?
Non-disclosure.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
I mean, it's an arrangement where it's for them, but obviously, we had
Okay.
talk, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember that when we were kids, we used to play ball, and the ball that can Masizi Mali. Can they seize the pitch?
No.
Okay.
No.
So long as they can't get angry and seize the pitch, then cool. Yeah. Wow. So wow. Because yes, people, when I said you were coming on, he's done so well. He got the stadium a pitch cover. So. I found a way to bring that in. So I'm surprised to hear that.
I would take the blessings that come with the accolades, but I would also give the credit as I've done.
I hear you.
Because, yes, obviously, it happened under our watch and the team, so everybody associated. So if they say NSA, it's good. It's everybody should feel proud that we were able to, because December 2025, in terms of sports and entertainment, recreation, the music was spectacular. Not just at the Accra Sports Stadium, because then the covers were also used at the University of Ghana Stadium pitch, which allowed, for example, Black Sherif to also perform. There was an international boxing event hosted by Legacy Rise. It went beyond pitch covers.
Okay.
It allowed, the president graced the occasion. The boxing community and ecosystem that has been facing a lot of challenges breathe a sigh of relief. Boxing was back. It was spectacular. Great fights. People from, on the night I met Americans or the British, Ghanaians, Nigerians from all over the place, Italians, Mexicans. And I'm like, wow, this is what it's about.
So at some point, there's a level where we see sports, entertainment, and sports sort of coming together.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Great. So, director, what's your vision? You've taken over this. There's this whole angle you're bringing in, this measure of entertainment, sports, everything. What are the other things that you see in the pipeline to really lift?
Yeah, so it's the President of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's vision, and it's about all-inclusiveness, and it's about making sure that sports gives us memories and experiences that we would want to share, and then others who perhaps ordinarily would not get close to a stadium or a pitch would say, hold on, I can relate. I could be the one sitting there watching. If I'm not the one, maybe my son, my daughter, whoever.
Yeah.
And so you notice that any opportunity that His Excellency gets to be at a sporting event, he does that, or he will delegate and make sure that the support, tremendous supports that we've had to have that confidence. The sports minister has led in that vein. So it's been really good. So it's the vision of the president to make sure that the reset, the all-inclusiveness, and the big push. So let's all go along, and if we can tap into another industry, another ministry, another area, if that is going to help sports, let's do that. If sports is going to help another area, let's do that. So the tapestry is changing. The inter, should I say ministerial, agency support is building up, and there's a good cohesion. It's not easy, and it's not. There's always room for more. But I can speak of the little experience.
Let me just pick up from it's not easy. What have been some of the toughest challenges you have seen or foresee in this area? Yeah,
it's been because the successes have been so. The media, they've put it out there so much. It's puts the failures, should I say lessons. Yeah, they're lessons, because unless you leave it like that and you say, okay, I give up, I can't do anything, then it's a failure. But lessons from things that we could have done better or happened that we wish hadn't happened.
Like?
Yes. Wait, there been to me non-disclosure.
Non-disclosure.
No, we had challenges. The Black Stars games, we had a lot of challenges with the fans invading the stadium. So if I can, give you a bit of context, the Black Stars had lost to Niger in their last AFCON qualifier. So it meant that Ghana did not represent at the AFCON in Morocco, perhaps the biggest and best yet, just pure organization. There were issues, obviously, but the Black Stars were going through a very dodgy phase where the confidence was so low. The coach Otuado was struggling, the players' confidence was down a lot. The fans had started. You watch the video, you watch Ghana versus Niger, and the crowd was literally a quarter of the stadium. Ghana, Sudan, we should have won, we couldn't win. Some would say, well, that's luck. Maybe, but it was a poor run. It was a poor campaign, and Ghana could not qualify for the AFCON. And then a new government comes in, a new president saying, forget about that. Just forget about that, guys. Let's go again. This is it. Let's just win the World Cup. Let's qualify for the World Cup. For Ghanaians, for yourself. He came to the stadium and delivered a very passionate and simple. The president is a very simple man. But his words, you could see from the players, you could see their reaction was that, okay, we're forgiven. Behind the scenes, there was a lot of anxiety that Ghanaians have abandoned the team. It's going to be difficult to get the support, the confidence, That visit by the president on the eve of the match, we all saw what it did.
Ignited that spirit back.
It did,
basically,
and gave the coach some confidence, because the coach was also down a bit, having not qualified for the AFCON.
I am here on behalf of all Ghanaians, as the President of the Republic, to just cheer you on and encourage you. Ghanaians have had their hearts broken by the fact that we didn't qualify for the AFCON. But even where we qualified for the AFCON, we crashed out very early the last time. And so we haven't given up on you. We still believe that the Black Stars can find its glory again. And it's dependent on you and the technical team and the management committee. It takes sacrifice, it takes strength. We all like to watch you when you play for your teams, and we expect that you bring some of that dedication to the national team. Playing for the national team is not as lucrative as playing for your individual teams. But still, that sense of pride and patriotism that your nation, has gone to the World Cup is something that is worth dying for. And so, before you start the qualifiers, let's put the AFCON debacle behind us, and let's look forward. I know that in the World Cup qualifiers, you're going to redeem yourselves. If we play and we qualify, Ghanaians will find it in their hearts to come fully behind the team again. And I know you can do it. I mean, you're all talented players. We're going to continue to support you, not only for the World Cup, but beyond. We think that we must build a very strong team. And the way to build a strong team is to find the resources to bring you together as much as possible so that you're playing together. And then also to look for young talents to join you, so that you also can play with them and bring them up as the next generation of the stars. I'll take time off and watch the game myself. Even though my heart is not very good at watching soccer, I will brave it. They say I should eat before I go and sit down. And my hope is that you will justify my sitting and watching you guys. The whole of Ghana is going to be behind you, and I'm sure that you can make it.
And the boys delivered, beating Chad, and that reignited, and the crowd was huge. The turnout was quite scary. We had some fans running in at halftime, because of the pressure at the gates. We had no choice but to allow them in to avoid a stampede. The pressure and the rest were scattered around the Independence Square and around the ministry. So you had maybe just under 40,000 in the stadium and maybe 20,000 outside. It was quite a scary security situation, and lessons quickly learned. So the next games, that was almost eliminated with the IGP coming in, national security, stewards, everybody chipping in to ensure. The Ministry of Sports and Recreation, the minister was very instrumental in that, and we thankfully avoided any disaster. Ghana qualified. The last game we had just under, I think, 36,000 inside, but it felt like the whole stadium. And then you had probably about another 30,000 at the Independence Square, being allowed to watch on giant screens with corporate sponsorship and support. That calmed a lot of nerves, because a lot of fans came in without tickets, saying that they would watch the match. And you ask them, but you don't have a ticket, you can't. Well, but it's my team, and they've qualified, and I'm Ghanaian,
so I have to watch, to see it. Yeah.
you have to say, oh, it doesn't work like that, Charlie. So Independence Square. So we balanced things, and there were no casualties. Yeah.
So is that a sign of the times that something has reawakened, and that will continue?
I believe so. And now the test will be how we perform at the World Cup. USA, Canada.
Let's quickly talk about the World Cup
right.
with the new visa ban or whatever it's supposed to be. What kind of impact is it having on this World Cup thing?
Yeah, I mean, the policy that you see, Donald Trump is a very interesting leader. It's ironic, and the Americans have the right to say and do what they want. If it's Trump and they say, "Yep, this is our policy," there's not a ban. What it is that there's a restriction.
Okay.
And it's not even just,
so it's not a ban, but there's been some restrictions placed.
And it's not about the World Cup, it's general, and there's a list of countries that tighter measures in terms of these were the laws and the rules governing these 20, 30, 40 countries. By the way, Ghana is one of them. So we've changed it, we've tightened things up, and we're not going to be issuing visas to these 40 or 50 countries or whatever it is.
Yeah, 70 or so.
Until we decide to change that. However, if you're a Ghanaian, you have a Ghanaian passport, and you have match tickets, and you apply for a visa, they will look at you. Okay, KSM has got match tickets for these, even if it's just one match. He wants to go, he's got healthy bank accounts, he's gainfully employed, we look at his history, he travels, but let's give him the visa. So it is quite contradictory, because it doesn't exclude a Ghanaian from applying for a visa to go to the United States. If he's saying that I'm going for the World Cup and then doing some tourism, and you can prove it, this is my hotel, I've booked a hotel for 2 weeks, I've paid, I've got 3 match tickets, I'm going with my wife or whatever, I'm going alone, I want to go to Manhattan after that, I want to enjoy. They don't have a problem with that. It's the Trump narrative and posture and what he's saying and doing that is putting people off. So I don't think Ghana has been singled out. Of course, Nigeria hasn't qualified, so even if they're on the list, it would be irrelevant. Other countries, Panama singled out. For them, it's an ongoing drug policy or prevention. The corridors of the channels, the trafficking routes rather, they need to look at all of this, and they feel as a state policy, the US, let's keep an eye, let's stop it by restrictions. If you call it a ban, fine, but I think we'll be fine.
We'll get another number of people who want to go though. Right. So
I will be cautious about that. Yes and no, because yes, in the sense that how many people can afford the packages? Yeah, you're right. But no, if more people can, why not? And this time around, government is not shipping and flying supporters like that. What is going to happen is that corporate Ghana would come together, raise funds, and then it will be decided how it will be used to organize Ghana's World Cup participation, which includes supporters. So everything has to be about how Ghana is positioned to protect the country and all the rest of it. So it's not as if, we're sending X number of people and we're spending X amount of money. No, it will be raised from corporate Ghana, and it will be wisely used for the purpose for which it was intended.
So basically, no worries. People shouldn't panic. Well, no panic, but definitely worries. Yes.
Concerns.
Concerns.
So it's an. I know. As an American Ghanaian or someone who knows America so well, you've lived and worked there for so many years. You know the American vibe. It's a different vibe, and they want. I think ordinary Americans want people to come so they can vibe. But the policy, the politics is quite different. So Ghana, we shouldn't worry. We shouldn't panic. We should just be confident that between now and June, July, we find ways as individuals, as corporate guys. Some companies are already planning to send 20 of their staff. Some are giving their best staff the best working style for last year, they already know they're going to the World Cup and other packages like that. So Ghana will be well represented. Agencies, institutions, if they can raise the money, if it's for them and they feel this is what we want to do, they can go ahead and do that. And then we're asking that, yes, come and also support the fans who cheered the team throughout the qualifiers. They need to also enjoy that. They need to be part of the whole festival and experience. They deserve that. That's the reward. So it's not wholesale, but definitely these considerations will be made.
Well, I'm hoping for the best. People sort of like you said, trans pronouncements was like
posture.
Wow, the posturing sort of scared people, and I'm glad you've given this explanation. And for those that are listening,
being an optimist.
Yep.
With reason, I think something will happen in the next few weeks, which will calm things down.
Okay. As soon as it happens, I'll bring you back here.
And if it doesn't happen,
I'll bring you back
still? Sure.
Great. Let's move on a little bit because you were so much in love. I think it's beach soccer. At one point, you got so involved trying to introduce it to Ghana. How far did it go? Have you given up, or is beach soccer still alive?
Yeah, beach soccer is still alive. Great question at a great time. In May this year, 2026, there will be beach soccer tournament, an international tournament to be hosted by Ghana for the first time.
Oh, Ghana's hosting it.
Right, in partnership with the UN. And the main drive of this tournament is to shed light on human trafficking, especially exploitation of young people. And that's why the UN is driving it, the IOM, and the migration department. And we just launched it a couple of days ago. And the countdown will begin very soon. There'll be announcements to put in place what should be a very spectacular hosting of this. Ghana, Nigeria confirmed, Germany confirmed, England, Turkey, Kuwait, and a few others yet to confirm. But queuing up, Senegal wants to be part of it. So it's looking really good. We need to raise money. We need to get sponsorship to put on a very, very good show of this beach soccer. One Humanity. Yeah.
I heard about One Humanity. I thought it was regular soccer. It is beach soccer.
It is beach soccer, yeah. The beach soccer, no boots, no shin pads, no socks. You can wear anklets to protect, but
wow.
Yeah. It's
where are the pitches in Ghana for beach soccer it's done at the beach?
It's done at the beach. Interesting, huh? And so you can actually take sand. Obviously, you need to get a permission or license to, win sand and put it anywhere that you don't have a beach or it's not a coastal area, but you need to go through the processes. We did one at a cinema in the eastern region. Korea, the what's it called? The shea butter. The young man, what's his name? I Show Speed.
I Show Speed, yeah.
He went to the eastern region. There was some waterfalls. Yes, Asinama waterfalls where they were giving some hot massage.
Yes.
Some macho man. And for him, it was the ladies. And he enjoyed it. So he had massage to start and massage to end. So Asinama 3 years ago hosted a beach soccer tournament with all the towns, Aokugwa, Dewu, Ekropong. They were all part of it. It was a fantastic tournament, and that has opened a way to other areas that you don't have natural coastal. It's not a coastal area. You don't have natural sand to be able to host. So we can take sand to Nima and set up a beach soccer arena, and we can play anywhere. So that's positive. But Laboma is the traditional home of beach soccer in Ghana.
Okay. Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be by the beach. It's just a sand.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily, but you need to also protect and preserve and improve the coastal area in which you play. So sanitation is very important. That's why constantly before tournaments, all the players, the coaches, even the referees get involved in these massive cleanup campaign, and the message is carried out very loud and clear. The community in which it's played, we bring them in to get involved and get the message across, because they will tell you that when they And respectfully, this is on a lighter note. They tell you that the breeze, when you want to relax early morning to get rid of your system, is the best. But you can't be doing that because it is illegal, by the way.
Yeah.
You can't go and just, squat and
do your thing.
No. But they will tell you that it's the best. And they will tell you that their grandfathers and grandmothers did it. So why are you preventing us? I've had situations.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Why are you preventing us? This is our beach. This is our land. I mean, my friend,
my goodness.
get off.
So how do you work yourself out of that? Do you get them convinced that, hey, your grand ancestors did it, whatever, but we can't allow that?
I've been tempted a couple of times to see that maybe this is just BS, but let me try. Maybe there's something that, but I've never got to do it, so I don't know whether it's true or not. I can't tell. But but you need to engage and I don't know if I should say understand, because you really wouldn't, and I wouldn't. I've not understood the concept, but I think what anybody who says that is that, well, I've seen others do it over the years, and I'm also doing it. So why are you coming to stress my life? That's what they would tell you, but it still doesn't make it right.
Yeah. How did Ghana become this humanity thing? How come it's ending up in Ghana?
Very good. Yeah. So the conversation. So Senegal is the number one beach soccer nation in Africa, and they've won its record 7 times. They're African champions. They've been to the World Cup 5 times now. They've been to the semi-final. Senegal are that good, and it's deliberate. They've really decided to focus on beach soccer over the years. They've invested well, and it's part and parcel of the Football Federation's project. What they've just done is allocated good funds to beach soccer, given them a department, and they just have to report to the hierarchy of the Football Federation of Senegal. But they get really good support from there. They get corporate support, and then they get international support. So Senegal is their benchmark, their as it were, the example of how beach soccer should be run. No wonder they're so successful. But naturally, they are very tall, very athletic, very strong players, and they play on the sand as though they were walking on grass. Gives them an advantage, gives them a huge advantage, and that's why they're so good. It's been very deliberate. Ghana will get there, it's
so how come Ghana was picked? Why not Senegal?
Because Ghana lobbied.
Oh, really?
Ghana lobbied that. Look, Senegal started somewhere, and also, when I say lobbied, when it became possible, we didn't back down. We didn't say, no, we don't have the facility. It can be done. Even though it's a short time, we have to just take this opportunity to make a mark. And then hopefully beyond this could be the gate opener to bring in more expertise and infrastructure for beach soccer. And then it would raise the level. The ecosystem would also...
So we have a national team for beach soccer and everything?
Yes, we do. They call the Black Sharks.
Black Sharks?
Yeah, Black Sharks of Ghana.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Founded in 2013. Played a first international game in Morocco against Morocco. Yes, we were thumped very well, very nicely. We were thumped. We've since closed the gap, but yeah.
What has been our best performance?
Oh, beating Senegal in Seychelles. Seychelles 2015 AFCON. Ghana was the only team to have beaten Senegal in open play. 5-4. We won 5-4, and it suddenly they took notice of Ghana. That's when he realized that the Ghanaians have potential, and indeed, the goal king of Africa now, the reigning goal king, is from Teshi. A young boy called, well, not young now, but Alexander Ajay. He scored 17 goals in Seychelles to be the goal king, and then he scored 11 goals in Egypt. So he's the record AFCON beach soccer goal king. He's got the record, and he won the MVP in combination now 5 different occasions from Seychelles to Egypt. A fantastic player. Hopefully he'll be in action in May.
What kind of publicity is going out. I mean, to get Ghanaians geared up for this beach soccer, because we know Black Stars.
Right.
But beach soccer, is the word out? And what are we looking at in terms of attendance?
Yeah, the good. Yep, that's it. And after the launch, as I said just a couple of days ago, this is the time to put all these things in place and make sure we have not just the event, but the build-up. You're right. The countdown, the build-up, what's happening with the other teams, and all the rest of it is going to happen. It's going to take off fantastically well very soon. Yeah.
In our wrapping up minutes, what's the vision? What do you see in terms of bringing to sports this whole merger with entertainment, sports, and everything? What's your general vision out there? What are we to expect?
Yeah, the infrastructure, obviously, and always I go back to the NDC manifesto, because that's why we've been put in our places to ensure that we deliver, and we're guided by that, and making sure that if we want to grow sports, we need to have it in good environments, and good environment means the infrastructure must also be good, so that young men and women, boys and girls, and elite athletes can produce. In it shouldn't be that we couldn't get results because we don't have the infrastructure. That is something that the president is key to address, and of course, funding has been allocated to that. Obviously, it's a process. It's not going to be overnight. And the sports fund is also in, where it will allow us to be very, direct and very deliberate with the way we look for funds for particular or specific projects, including infrastructure, which has been key, will continue to be. So the sports fund, which thankfully the sports ministers pushed through the bill, gone through Parliament, and he's done fantastically well. It's been very, very focused on chasing on that, and it is part of the vision to make sure we have these facilities top notch, and also in communities at the community level for people, young people, elderly people. Recreation is part of it, just to be able to participate and do well. And of course, the elite sportsmen and women can also enjoy these. So yeah, infrastructure is going to be key to all of this. And then of course the administrative side, we need to tighten things up in terms of the regulations, making sure sports federations are compliant, they do the right things, they have elections on time, they have the constitution, they have a management team, the basics, having an office, having a good the proper email. You might think, but this one, no, but administratively, we need to put all these things in place. The simple things. Have headquarters, be operating in regions. If not all the regions, at least your presence should be felt in key regions. That qualifies you to be considered as a federation or an association, and then you qualify to be considered for a discussion on getting funds from the sports fund or getting support. Because if you're not compliant, you won't even be allowed, you won't even, the conversation will not start.
Two areas I want us to end with, one, definitely the local league. I want to hear your take. And also we have discussed this whole US restriction ban, whatever it is, and people are starting to take advantage of ticketing, promising whatever. So the two things, the local league and this thing, ticketing thing, what's your take on both of them?
The local league, for the first time, Addis Up Productions, in partnership with the state, so government spearheaded a campaign to support the clubs. So KSM, for the very first time, every Ghana Premier League club, domestic club, received 1 million Ghana cedis before the league started. So
1 million Ghana cedis?
Or guaranteed 1 million Ghana cedis before the league starts. And that has gone a long way. It's not a one-off. It's something that must continue, and it's a vision of state to be able to support these clubs, to make them viable, what they need to do just to be strong and firm, to allow them to also participate beyond Ghana. We have continental competitions, and we've been doing terribly in the last few years. Our top clubs either eliminated around the first stages, or they go a little further and they're humiliated. So it's
what is causing that?
Inconsistency must be one of them. because a player does great for a couple of seasons and he's off. Another one has to come. The experience isn't quite there, you know. So it's something that we need to look at and perhaps have a minimum wage. It's a controversial topic because the argument also is that, you know, you're private clubs. Nobody forced you. You say you're a football club, you should be able to pay your players, your coaches, have a clubhouse, have your own training pitches, have your own stadium. That actually is the model practice. Well, okay, some clubs do share, you know, but at least they have the mentality or the structures to allow them to do that. In Ghana, a lot of the clubs don't have their own venues, and those who do are struggling. It's not they're not all compliant in terms of what you need, you know, but they're trying their best. So this support backed by the state should be able to cushion them. They can concentrate on other areas and mobilize very well. Yeah.
Okay. Regarding the
yes,
fraudsters who are now entering the business of ticketing.
So you go online and you see adverts like, you know, contact us. You know, we can get you. They don't apologize. They're not diplomatic. It's very much, we can get you tickets. So, I mean, KSM, we've just got to be very careful. And the warning has been given that do not, you know, deal with unlicensed or unscrupulous if you're not sure. It's quite easy to know, in my opinion, these fraudsters by just, you know, finding out, you know, okay, where's your license? I mean, have you been given a license to operate this by FIFA or by state or by the GFA? Verify, make a call, and that's a start. You can even Google if you want and find out this company, does it exist? What does it do? Who's the director? Where they're based? So that in case they run you, you know that you're going to that office. But ideally, do not give money to anyone who says that they're gonna, you know, fix. Get a visa or whatever free, unless you're sure this is it. Just give.
I would be very suspicious of anybody who promises me a visa anyway.
Right.
So folks, double check, man. Double check, and then don't get
carried away.
You know. Okay. So Yaw Ampofo Ankrah,
yes, sir,
Director of Ghana Sports Authority.
Yes.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to great things happening, man. As much as you don't want to take credit for the page cover, it's a great beginning.
Sure.
And plenty more to come.
Amen. Hallelujah. Inshallah.
Inshallah. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure.
I've had so much fun, and I'm looking forward to coming back when there's good news and the World Cup. When we get to the final and everything goes well, and beach soccer we win, host and win, and we have athletics in May. You know, Ghana's hosting Africa. We have a lot of things coming up this year. Yep, the British High Commission, the U.S. Embassy, the Canadian Embassy, High Commission, Mexico. They're doing a lot. It's going to be very exciting few months where people can enjoy these host nation vibes right here in Accra, Ghana, and in other regions as well.
Fantastic. So, folks, there you have it. I have Yaw Ampofo Ankrah here. We've had a really outstanding time, and I've learned a lot, you know, and I thank him for being here. And you'll be back here again very soon.
100%.
Because sports, things are happening. And so I'll be calling you.
Sure.
Anytime.
Sure.
Okay, man.
We pray for health, we pray for life, we pray for wealth.
Amen. Inshallah. It shall be done. One more time. Okay, man.
Thank you, boss.
On the 14th of February, we are having, I think we have made Cactus Creek the Valentine destination. If person will enjoy Valentine, come to Cactus Creek. So on the 14th, we are having a very delectable buffet lunch, and we'll top it up with amazing comedy. I'll be performing my very popular show now, Old Age is a Rascal. I call this my Valentine edition. I'm going to be performing it. And also, my DJ, my MC, do you know who my MC is? I just love his name. Your friend, MC Intatia. MC Intatia is going to be my MC for February 14th. But please make sure you call this number 055-039-5007 and make your reservation for Valentine. For those of you who want to spend the night on the 14th, make sure you mention that because it also entitles you to a free lunch buffet and my show that comes on, Old Age is a Rascal. You've got to see that. There are times that I think of something and I say, oh wow, I'm thinking of there's somebody I should be calling. I take away my phone. I take out my phone right away. Beep, 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 beep. Then I call. Brr, brr. Brr, brr. Then I go, oh God, who am I calling?
Hi, I'm Arinola Bebia, a waitress of Cactus Creek Hotel, and I'm looking forward to serve you during this Val's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to you all.